Hey there, this is a Short Barrel Shepherd, and today I'm doing a follow-up on the Roni, which is an enclosure for an NFA-registered SBR Glock pistol. They make them for other pistols, but for my purposes, we're talking about my NFA-registered Gen 4 Glock 19. Now, this top one, this FDE, is the one that I personally own, and if you recall my review of the Roni, I had a ton of problems with it. I had 8 malfunctions during my testing of about 200 rounds fired. It was by far the least reliable enclosure we had, and the Hera Triari had 2, so just to let you know like the difference in reliability there. So some of my readers let me know that I may actually have been sent an airsoft version because the side rail here is plastic as opposed to aluminum on a real steel version of the Roni. So thanks to the cool folks over at Command Arms, the US importers of the CAA Tactical Roni, the PR department sent me this testing and evaluation unit to do a comparison, and I'm also going to wind up shooting this enclosure to see if the reliability is a little bit better. Now, unfortunately, the folks over at Arms Unlimited, the people I bought this Roni from, you know, they're very steadfast that they don't sell airsoft units, that they only sell real steel units, and they pretty much didn't have any help for me. They had nothing for me, and they suggested I contact a VP over at Command, which, you know, is nice that they gave me that information, but I really felt that as the retailer they should have taken better care of me. I will be sending my FDE personally owned Roni 2 back to the folks at Command for them to take a look at, but I'm sure they're going to say the same thing I'm going to come up with here, which is this is an airsoft model. While I'm here, I want to talk about some differences. I already talked about how the the side rails here are aluminum on the real steel version versus plastic. The other thing that I'm not sure about is if the vertical foregrip on the real steel version is supposed to be different than this one, or if it's just a generational thing like an improvement. I know that with my Fab Defense K-POS that the foregrip has changed over time, so it's possible that these are just two slightly different generation models. So in the real steel version, I was sent this black one here. The vertical foregrip is different in 2 ways. One, the button's a little bit different to release, but also it only has a single point of articulation, and by that I mean this. Push this button down, and it swings to 1 point only. Now with the FDE one that I own personally, you push the button in, and there are 2 points. There's this kind of Magpul AVG or angled foregrip approach, and then a full deployment. I actually don't really care if I have this angle or not. I prefer the straight up and down for the foregrip, but that's just one difference I noted. So while we're here, let's take a look at the inside of the enclosures and see if we can discern any differences. Takedown's identical as you would expect. You pull these 2 pins. If you've seen my review already, this isn't going to be new to you. Separate these sections out, pin all the way out, and move the front forward, and then this part unhinges. Another thing that's not important for this is that they didn't send these adjustment screws. So if you're seeing these on the video, but on the FDE one, but not on the black one, that's why it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's go and open up the FDE one. Okay, so just real quick, the charging handles are identical. They're exactly the same, so no difference there. You know, obviously this is a testing and evaluation unit. Somebody had a little temper tantrum here with the takedown pin, so this is scratched, but basically the design, the internals appear to be exactly the same between my FDE version and this black one, which, you know, one thing is possible is that maybe the wrong rails were put on my FDE one, and it's actually a real steel version as well. You know, the tolerances look the same, they weigh the same, so I'm not entirely sure what the answer is going to be once Command gets this back in their possession. It's just very strange. Stay tuned, I'm going to have a follow-up part about shooting with this black Roni, And then I'll also just have the overall assessment of all 3 enclosures with the final summary on whether you should buy one and register one of your Glock handguns as an SBR with the ATF. I hope you found this video useful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also check out my blog at shortbarrelshepherd.com.